Life can be tough, can't it? Sometimes it feels like everything's stacked against us, and we're just struggling to keep our heads above water. But here's the thing. Hating your life isn't the answer. In fact, it's the exact opposite of what you need to do to turn things around. Let me tell you a story about a guy named Jack. Jack was in his mid-30s, working a dead-end job he despised, living in a cramped apartment, and feeling like he was going nowhere fast. Every morning, he'd wake up, look in the mirror, and think, I hate my life. But one day, something changed. Jack was walking to work, lost in his usual cloud of misery, when he bumped into an old man. The old man dropped his groceries, and Jack, feeling guilty, helped him pick them up. As they gathered the scattered items, the old man looked at Jack and said, Why the long face, son? Jack, surprised by the question, found himself pouring out his frustrations to this stranger. The old man listened patiently, then said something that would change Jack's life forever. You know, son, life is like a garden. You can't control the weather, but you can choose what you plant and how you tend to it. Those words hit Jack like a ton of bricks. He realized that he'd been so focused on hating his life that he hadn't been doing anything to improve it. He'd been waiting for things to change, instead of making changes himself. From that day on, Jack decided to start tending his garden. He began by setting small, achievable goals for himself. Instead of dwelling on how much he hated his job, he started looking for ways to improve his skills and make himself more valuable to his company. He also started taking better care of himself. He joined a gym, started eating healthier, and made an effort to get enough sleep. It wasn't easy at first, but gradually, he started to feel better both physically and mentally. Jack also realized that he'd been isolating himself from others. He started reaching out to old friends and making an effort to meet new people. He joined a local volunteer group, which not only gave him a sense of purpose, but also introduced him to a whole new circle of positive, like-minded individuals. As the weeks turned into months, Jack noticed something incredible happening. His life was changing, not because his circumstances had magically improved, but because his attitude and actions had shifted. He was no longer the guy who hated his life. He was becoming someone who was actively working to create the life he wanted. At work, his newfound enthusiasm and improved skills caught the attention of his superiors. He was given more responsibilities and eventually promoted to a position he actually enjoyed. His relationships improved, both with his family and his new friends. He even met someone special through his volunteer work. Now, I'm not saying that Jack's life became perfect overnight. He still faced challenges and setbacks, but the difference was in how he approached them. Instead of seeing problems as reasons to hate his life, he saw them as opportunities to grow and improve. One day, about a year after his chance encounter with the old man, Jack was walking through the same street where they had met. To his surprise, he saw the old man again, sitting on a bench, feeding pigeons. Jack approached him, eager to share how much his advice had changed his life. The old man listened with a twinkle in his eye, then said, I'm glad you learned the secret, son. Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. Those words stuck with Jack, reminding him that even when life gets tough, there's always a choice in how we respond to it. We can choose to hate our lives, or we can choose to find joy and meaning, even in the midst of difficulties. So, what's the lesson here? It's simple, really. Don't hate your life. Instead, take a good, hard look at it and ask yourself, what can I do to make it better? Maybe it's a small change, like starting a new hobby or reaching out to an old friend, or maybe it's something bigger, like changing careers or moving to a new city. Whatever it is, remember that you have the power to shape your life. You might not be able to control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond to it. You can choose to be the victim of your circumstances, or you can choose to be the hero of your own story. Think about it. Every great success story, every inspiring transformation started with someone who refused to accept their current situation as final. They didn't hate their lives. They decided to change them. So, the next time you're tempted to say, I hate my life, stop yourself. Instead, ask, what can I do right now to make my life better? It might be something as simple as going for a walk, calling a friend, or learning a new skill. The important thing is to take action, no matter how small. Remember, life is a journey, not a destination. It's not about reaching some perfect state where everything is exactly as you want it to be. It's about growing, learning, and becoming the best version of yourself along the way. And here is another thing to consider. When you stop hating your life and start working to improve it, you'll likely find that you start inspiring others around you. Your positive attitude and actions can have a ripple effect, touching the lives of people you might not even realize you're influencing. So, let's make a pact right now. No more hating our lives. Instead, let's commit to nurturing our gardens, planting seeds of positivity, growth, and change. Let's face our challenges head-on, knowing that each obstacle we overcome makes us stronger and wiser. And on those days when things feel particularly tough, when it seems like nothing is going right, remember the old man's words? Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. Find your dance, your rhythm, your way of moving forward even when the skies are gray. Your life is a precious gift, full of potential and possibilities. Don't waste it on hatred and negativity. Embrace it, challenge it, shape it into something beautiful. Because at the end of the day, you're the author of your own story. Make it a story worth telling. So, what will your next chapter be? What seeds will you plant in your garden today? The choice is yours, and remember, every great journey begins with a single step. Take that step today, and watch as your life transforms from something you hate into something you love. You've got this. Your best life is waiting for you. Go out there and create it.